Hey guys, Tim here with Sports Card Action, channel that comes at you with totally unscripted, unedited content. And today we're going to get right into the action. I'll let you know what I've been getting into. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, educating myself, and making some purchases and some different moves. Obviously, I still have my submission that I'm waiting for from PSA to come back. That's gonna be a while. I'm planning on sending another one here pretty soon. I'm waiting on a few more things to get here in the mail. Um, and I got to go through and kind of just like prep them, clean the surfaces and make sure they're set up right. And I'll be doing some of my ultra modern cards, I think, next. Yeah, I'll show you a couple of things I picked up here recently that came. Still waiting on a bunch of stuff to get here in the mail. 1952, Richie Ashburn, PSA 4. As we know, another Hall of Famer from this set just sold for $5.2 million. So I think Hall of Famers from the 52 Topps set are pretty interesting. So I picked this up for $50, guys. PSA 4. It's nice. It's just got a slight wrinkle, not even a crease at the bottom, and then this upper corner here is just a slight tiny crease there. Otherwise, it's pretty clean. Obviously, this corner's dinged. The corners are dinged, but the back is clean. That writing is on the plastic here. But yeah, $50. I'll do that all day long. I'm still looking. Maybe I'll try to pick up some more of these if I can, but that's a pretty good deal. And then I got this beauty here. Oh, this one's in a bag too, so it's kind of hard to see. But PSA 10 Magic Blue Ice, numbered to 99, and kind of hard to tell, but the sparkle on this sucker is just stunning. Look at that sparkle. It looks amazing. Guess I should have took out the case for the video, but I love that card. $125 for that on offer. And I just put in a bid for a blue ice for a Giannis. And I probably won't end up winning that. I only bid 140 or something. But you never know. Let's see. And then I also bid a Shaq Beam Team BGS 8.5 I bid on. I'm still winning bidder on that one. And I'd like to pick that one up if possible, but Shaq is getting more and more hot and desirable, and there's more and more competition for the Shaq cards. Especially the Beam Team, and his highly desired rookie cards, the Upper Deck, stuff like that. I've been looking at all the GOATs. Ted Williams here, I put in a bid, 1956 Ted Williams and a PSA 6, and I'm still the winning bidder on that. It's up to 410 right now. Let's see, outbid on my Griffey Jr. Topps Tiffany's. Those are going through the roof. Really low pop on those 89 Topps Tiffany Griffeys. Looks like I got outbid on a 1960 Willie Mays. But I'm hot on the trail of a 61 Willie Mays right now. And then I got a few other offers in, I think. Ooh, a 57 Willie Mays too I'm trying to get. So I'm really into the vintage right now. The vintage has not gone up that much. I mean, all this other stuff. Shaq has 22-fold over the last 2 years. Just gone crazy. Everything basketball has just gone crazy, but some of this vintage stuff, that's why I'm looking at Willie Mays. I'm looking at Ted Williams. Hank Aaron might have missed out on that, I guess, at this point. Greg Maddux. Took some notes on Greg Maddux. Real interesting because he's like dirt cheap. I mean, 87 tops traded Greg Maddux. You know, you can pick those up, you know, raw for $2, $3. I already, yeah, I already said in one of my other videos. So I went and, you know, examined all the ones on ComC and picked out all the ones that were centered and nice looking and bought all those and left all the rest of them. So I picked up a bunch of those on ComC and I got them just listed at like 3 times the price. Not really looking to move them right now, just looking to sit on them. Who knows? Eventually, I might just have all that sent back to me. I'm not getting any sales right now because I jack up the price on all my stuff on ComC. A lot of it's Magic, you know, all the Magic Johnson stuff that I've been picking up, all that modern stuff, and I jacked up the price, so I'm just kind of waiting for that to pop later in the year when the documentary comes out. But what I noticed and what I looked at, the 88 Topps Tiffany Greg Maddux, which is the you know, regular series rookie for Greg Maddux, that only has a population of 102 for PSA 10, and you can get that for $70. And what I like about the 88 Tiffany is that it's not like in competition with the Topps Traded Tiffany. You know what I mean? Like the 87 Topps Traded looks exactly like the 87 Topps Traded Tiffany because they both have the shiny back of the card. So, but I guess, I don't know for certain, but I believe that the Tiffany still has a shinier front than the Topps Traded, a glossier front of the card. I'm pretty sure, which is basically like, for that year at least, you can't use the star method. That's like the only way to tell, is that it is actually a little more, or a lot more glossier for the Tiffany version. But that doesn't apply for the 88 because it's either an 88 regular or an 88 Topps Tiffany, as far as that Greg Maddux rookie card. And yeah, the 88 Topps regular, I mean, that's super cheap. That's not even really necessarily worth picking up, I don't think. I mean, I think I actually sent one in for grading. I think I have one, a regular 88 Topps, one in for grading, which, I don't know, I couldn't hardly not send it in because it was like perfectly centered. You know, it's probably, hopefully it'll be a 9, you know, and then it'll at least be worth something. You know, I can just put it in my PC and just hang on to it because it's cool. You know, it's something that I, you know, opened, you know, 15 years ago or 20 years ago or something and held on to, and it's just one of the cards that, whatever, you know, I kept and is in good condition and it looks good, and you know, it's a legendary Hall of Famer, one of the top 10 pitchers of all time. So why not slab it up, you know, for cheap, $12, you know, it's a bulk submission, so $12 isn't bad. You know, you can be a little bit more lenient with the cards you send in. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking for that 88 Topps Tiffany. It's hard to locate. There's only 102 in the world if you get, you know, as far as the PSA 10. And I'm not gonna try to, like, you know, go on a scavenge hunt to try to get a bunch of raw ones to send in and try to see if I can get, you know, a 10, because it's not worth it. They're going for $70 when they come up, which is kind of rare. The ones that are listed right now on eBay are like 1,200. There's 2 of them, and it's just like, okay, ridiculous. I understand that they don't come up for sale super often, but I mean, you know, come on. I don't know. Maybe they'll find a sucker to pay that much. And then kind of the same thing I found with Randy Johnson, 89 Topps Tiffany. Really super low pop on that. or I'm sorry, the Topps Traded Tiffany in this case, which that theory wouldn't apply because you'd have to actually look at the shininess of the front of the card in order to determine that. Of course, you wouldn't have to determine that yourself because it would be listed on the grade. But regardless, I'm sure when you're selling the card, the buyer would be like, oh, "Are you sure that's the Topps Tiffany, or is it just the regular Topps Traded?" Because I've actually seen that on a couple listings where the PSA made the mistake calling it a Tiffany when it wasn't, and fortunately, the dude actually mentioned that in the listing, saying PSA made a mistake. It wasn't actually Topps Tiffany, but maybe someone will buy it and then use it to scam someone into thinking it's actually a Tiffany, but who knows? That's neither here nor there. But anyway, the 89 Topps Tiffany, Topps Traded Tiffany, or the TTT as I like to call it, for the Randy Johnson is only a 66 pop on the PSA 10, and that's going for like $250, as opposed to the regular Topps Traded, which has 3,000 pop. The regular 89 Topps only 1,300 because probably not worth sending in, and the 89 regular Topps Tiffany 108, which is, yeah, that's the amazing thing. Similar population between the Randy Johnson 89 Topps Tiffany and the 89 TTT 108 and 66, but the regular Topps Tiffany goes for 1,300 right now, whereas the Topps Traded Tiffany goes for 250, and it's actually got a lower pop. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking to scoop up some of these GOAT type players. I think pitchers are just ridiculously undervalued. You got pitchers from the 80s, and even though it's junk wax, just like one of the dudes on one of the podcasts I was listening to today, one of the many podcasts that I listened to, pointed out that the base cards of like Luka Doncic and Zion, are like in the tens of thousands population for their PSA 10s, whereas that's not the case with these late 80s and early 90s players. Griffey Jr., Frank Thomas, Pedro Martinez, Greg Maddux, all these dudes that are like top players. And yeah, they produce a lot of cards, but there's not that many PSA 10s out there. And especially the Topps Tiffany. That's the thing. You get the Topps Tiffany, and that's how you reduce the population in order to, really create supply constraints as far as your investments on those ones. And they're still super cheap. I mean, once the hobby realizes that a lot of these current players that are so hot and being flipped and traded and bid up to infinity end up becoming non-champion, sort of just mediocre, good but not great players, and the hobby loses interest. Yeah, they'll still have value for the rookie cards just because of the amount of hype that was in them at the start. People remember that, and they'll still have value, but the price is going to go down and down, and then people are going to realize that all this vintage, whether it's 50s cards like I'm looking for, 80s cards, 90s, whatever it is, they're not making any more of that, and you get that in high grades, and the supply is limited, and a lot of those players from certain eras in the 80s, 90s, 50s, namely, the 60s, you got Pete Rose, which obviously, I'm picking up. That's another one I'm really looking at seriously trying to pick up is a Pete Rose rookie card. PSA 6 is like, if you notice when you look at the prices on the PSA APR page, the PSA 6 on a lot of those 60s cards and late 50s cards, you'll see where the price doesn't go up that much, the average selling price, until you get to the PSA 7. So that's kind of where the breaking point is. There's really no point in bidding on, most of the time it's like pretty apparent that a PSA 5, if you're looking at that, and the PSA 6 is not much more, you might as well just go for the PSA 6. And then you'll find that, oftentimes the PSA 7 will then be like double the price, or 60-70% more than what the PSA 6 goes for. So maybe that'd be a good place to just kind of draw the line. But a lot of times, no point. Like, I know the 52 I got is a PSA 4. That's a different story. I'm not talking early 50s cards. That's a little bit different. But late 50s and then into the 60s, those vintage cards, PSA 6 is like, seems to always be the spot where it's the highest pop, and you can get it for not much more than a PSA 5. And as far as like the PSA 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, there's like hardly any difference in price. And even then the 6 is not much more. So sometimes I'm just like doing my searches by sorting, certain player, and then I'll just put PSA 6 and then just look. And then I can kind of compare prices and pull up the sales history on the PSA website. So that's what I've been doing. Anyway, I'm gonna make more videos. Hopefully, I've been kind of busy lately, but I'll try to make some more in the next few days and let you know what I bid on. See if I get that Shaq. See if I get that 57 Mays or the 61 Mays I'm trying to get. I'm also still looking at some 81 Magic Johnson, trying to pick up some of those. I got, some feelers out on that. And I'll let you know what else came in the mail. So think about what I said, take it to heart, and keep doing what you're doing, all right? I'll talk to you guys later.